we'll get on the topic of music eventually.
Oh yeah, like I said,
And I'll
I am
totally
very
nerd out.
essentially. We'd love to do episodes where we talk about, with the exception of this one, because like I said we're both. I mean, I'm not.
Spacey.
We're spacey. I'm not on the level
Spacey.
of Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, but we're both fascinated with space. Like I know like some quick facts that I can tell you. Like planet Uranus rains diamonds.
It do be like that.
Yep, that's fucking nuts.
I had to say it like that. There's no other way I could have.
It do.
It do in fact be like that.
But like I said, for the most part, like we both have subjects that we like to consider ourselves like
We'll say amateur experts.
just you fucking nerds.
Yeah, we're nerds.
Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. So when it comes to dinosaurs, but again, that's another episode.
That's a weird. That's actually, now that I think on it, it's really it's odd to me. Loves sports.
I know I don't add up.
I'm referencing you, not
Yeah.
me. Loves sports.
Mostly football, but
Yeah.
continue. I'm sorry.
Big football guy. Space. Dinosaurs. Those three realms are very far apart from each other.
they, they are. The football one is a funny story. Played flag football for the time I was in kindergarten to about 4th grade. And then that time I played a game where I got frustrated and I tackled a kid and I broke his arm. So it kind of brought out a softer side of me. And instead of just simply going like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, I went the weird route of convincing myself that I hated football.
Oh, gotcha.
And so for 5 years, I turned my nose up to football like a prude. Like my family would be upstairs watching the Browns game, and of course they'd be distraught afterwards.
Yeah.
But I'd be downstairs playing video games. Like I'd never watch football. I was a weird kid growing up. I'm not gonna sit here and just deny it. I was a weird ass kid. Case in point, my fascination with dinosaurs and space,
Yeah.
and weather and stuff like that.
Just to say right now, because you can't see him yet, like Richard looks like he played football. Like he does. Like I'm a musician, and compared to me, he looks like he plays football, and I look like I play music. So
I did a little bit of weight training back in high school, and I don't know what happened, but like right about my junior year is something switched, and next thing you know, I couldn't button my top shirt because my neck filled out so much.
Yeah.
My dad, he claims he's 5'6", but I swear to God, he's like 5'9", because I'm not that much taller than he is. I'm only like maybe 6 foot, if that.
yeah.
He gave me one of his old like jacket, like his like old suit jackets, just for shits and giggles, and I hulked out of it. Like he was gonna throw it away anyway, but he's
Yeah.
like, man, it can barely even fit you. What'd you do? Like, Richard, what's happening? But like I said, so
That's just the universal catchphrase. Richard, what's happening?
But so like I said, by the time I had a 5-year stretch where I convinced myself I hated football, and then right about my freshman year of high school, I'm like, yeah, you know what, I want to get back into it, and so I did. And it got to the point where I was watching a preseason game with my mom, and I looked at her and I said, Mom, what does 1 in 10 mean? And she's like, oh boy, you got a long way to go. So I had to like crash course how football worked. And like I said, I was not good, but I definitely enjoyed playing it and understanding the sport. I love watching it now. It's like one of my all-time favorite things. But yes, looking at me, there are things about me that do not add up. Loving dinosaurs, loving space, football.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, what's his name from Revenge of the Nerds? The football player who turned out to be a nerd with the crazy hair. He was the...
Oh my God, I can't remember his name. What a flashback that is.
Hold on. Thank you, Internet.
I can picture the outfit. I can't think of his... I can't even remember necessarily what the character's head looked like.
Well, let's see. Hold on. Let's pull up the... Like he was like pretty much like their like Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, what was his character's name? Let's see, Rent the Nerds football player.
This is back in those Nickelodeon phase of
Right.
television. For anybody who forgot, that's the goofy way of saying Nickelodeon.
Oh god, like I said, it'll come to me, but like I want to see he had like one of those like names that was like just like one word. The ogre.
Ogre.
Yeah. Yes, it turns out he was a full play. Like I'm like I'm like him. Like like I said, I just for whatever reason like by the time I was like a sophomore in high school to like my junior year, I went from like 160 pounds like soaking wet to like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those kids like wore t-shirts that was like 2 sizes too small, just so I could fill them out and just strut my shit through the hallways. Like, that's right, I'm buff now.
You extra mediumed everybody.
I did. There was one point I wore this almost the same shirt like at least twice a week because it just looked like so tight on me. Like I'm like, yeah, I was that guy. Like if I sneezed,
you can see my arms from the moon.
Pretty much. But to kind of go back to our whole, like talking about like I said, like a lot of like the planets that we like the fake planets that we reference, in like sci-fi and whatnot, are found within the like this 350 light year bubble.
Yeah,
I find that
an interesting fact in itself.
Oh, exactly, and like and kind of again, if you ever look at like the lore of Dune, like
it's huge.
It's huge, and Frank Herbert like really like fleshed it out, and it's so fascinating. Like I never read the books.
Yeah.
I've never watched the films, but I at least watched a lot of like YouTube videos, kind of like breaking down, and it's so vast and in depth. Like he really poured his heart and soul into it. I find stuff like that very fascinating. Like even like the fake universes, like the Star Trek universe, Star Wars universe. Understanding of like space and time and.
Well, even like my big like space obsession as far as lore, that does actually coincide with a lot of that stuff was the Dead Space series.
Yeah.
Once you get into, because in Dead Space they draw parallels to like real, human history.
Mm-hmm.
So like the destruction of the dinosaurs was, instead of a meteorite, it was one of the markers, which is like this big stone with carvings on it in different languages.
Yeah.
It actually engineered humanity. It made us smarter.
Yeah.
But it draws parallels to like real universal history. So like the planets they talk about, some of them are like real planets.
Yeah.
I thought that was super interesting.
Oh,
being
yeah.
part of the lore.
Because like I said,
because I think Tau Volantis, one of the planets that you visit in the third one, I think that's actually based on a real. Like, it's not called Tau Volantis, but it's based on a real planet.
I see. Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it lies within the Tau Ceti
right.
solar system. So I think, like I said, I think the Tau Ceti, star system holds the record for like the most references in sci-fi, movies and books and whatnot.
Sitting on my wallet, like, I have no blood in my leg now. So that's why I was doing that. I was like uncomfortably shifting for a little bit.
But like I said, just again, like just knowing that the stuff that could be out there, like potential life, or even just so much like knowing that there's like planets out there. Like there's one planet, I forget the name of it, but there's one planet. The entire planet is one giant diamond.
Mm-hmm.
There are planets that the core temperature of it, like on its surface, is absolute zero.
A true ice ball.
Essentially. There's one planet that's like so dark it absorbs all the light that enters it.
Oh, I remember reading about that. It actually light actually goes like when you view it, saying that with big air quotes. We actually could see through it, if I remember right.
If I'm not mistaken, I think so. Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's a gas giant.
It has some sort of an effect. I think it has something to do more so with like gravitational lensing.
I want to say it's like 1.5 times larger than Jupiter is.
Yeah, but it's because like normally we would use gravitational lensing on purpose to see around stuff, but in this case, I think you just if you try to observe it, you will just see through it.
Yeah,
there's obviously a shape there, but